Hello everyone, it's Jeff here with my Vinyl Tag 2019 video, finally. Hopefully I changed the settings on my phone to not cut out at the 30-minute mark, but I haven't tested it, so if this does run long and goes past 30 minutes and cuts out, there could be a part 2 again. Just warning you. Okay, so all that said, I'm going to try to talk as quickly as I can. So, cheers everyone. Let's get right to it. Okay. Vinyl Tag, I got my questions written down here. There are 20 questions. Got a stack of albums to show for my answers, so without further ado, your best find of 2018, question number 1. This was a tough one, without a doubt. Got a lot of good records this, in 18, and I got, a couple grails too. But in terms of the record that gave me the most enjoyment that I found, actually through the VC, was Chris Bell's I'm the Cosmos, his solo album. Alright, I'm going to have to take these out of the sleeves as I show them, because there's going to be too much glare here. Wow, there's even glare without it. Okay. Yeah, you guys know how much of a fan of Big Star I am if you've watched my videos from the past. And this was his one and only solo album released before his death. And it's fantastic. And it really shows the contributions that Chris Bell made to the Big Star sound. Because this sounds just like, very, very much like the first Big Star album. So this was a reissue I found on Amazon. It wasn't that much of a difficult record to get, but in terms of listening enjoyment, this one delivered every single time, and it still does. So I'm calling this my best find of 2018. Okay, question number 2. Shout out to other VC channels who deserve more viewers. Well, I'm just going to basically talk about the people that I follow most. And their subscriber counts vary. Obviously, like guys like Tim, DJ High Noon, he only has a couple hundred subscribers. Deserves way more. Has a great camera presence. Shows great stuff. Has great taste in music. Is, kind of just like me in that regard. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm just saying we're alike in terms of music. This isn't really working, is it? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. One Take Jeff, that's all this is. Brad from H2 Vinyl, he just passed 200 subscribers, and he's holding a contest. So I highly recommend you check his channel out and get involved in the contest if you want to. It's pretty easy. As far as people that I follow regularly, a lot of people, I follow, Tales from the Crate, Andrew, he's one of my musical gurus. I follow him religiously. Hannah, Omaha Introvert, she's another one who I follow just about every single time I see a video pop up. I've said before that the VC really needs more women. I wish there were more women in the VC. And besides Hannah, there's a newer channel. Her name is Melinda Murphy. And I think she has 100 subscribers or less. I'm not quite sure, but I know it's a low number. And she is, like I said, new to the VC and shows a lot of, really cool stuff from like the 80s. And it's like a mix of, there's some metal in there. She's a big fan of Van Halen. Just saw in I think her last video, she picked up a copy of Balance on vinyl, which I know is a tough record to find on vinyl. So check her channel out. Of course, B-Side Records is another one who I follow pretty regularly. Doesn't show her face on camera. She does the POV style videos, but like her niche in the VC is soundtracks, particularly horror movie soundtracks. So but, she shows other stuff besides that, too. Lots of Queen. She's a big fan of Queen. And her videos are always fun to watch. So I could just keep talking for the whole rest of this time about people I follow and watch, because my subscribe list is pretty long. But I just wanted to give, you know, shouts out to people who I follow regularly. Steve Carlson, he's another one. You know, his Sunday morning show, more or less, you know, which comes out early Sunday morning, is always a must-watch for me. So, people like that, check them out. They do good stuff. They do good. They show a lot of good music, and they show good passion for the music. Okay, question number 3. What holes are you looking to fill in your collection? I always looking for more blues. Probably what I probably need to go further back in the blues genre, you know, back beyond like the 60s and 70s electric stuff. That's probably a direction I'd like to go in this year if I can. I've said this before, I'm always looking to get further into jazz than I am. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like jazz is like this big lake, and I'm just standing, you know, down looking at it, and it's just this giant thing, and I don't even know where to dip my toe in. It's just one of those things I have to just start buying records and just start experimenting and picking things and listening to them. So as far as specific artists, I think there's 1 or 2 XTC albums that I'm missing, but I don't even think they're released on vinyl anymore. Same with Robin Hitchcock. I mean, for some of these people, if I really want to, I'm going to have to switch to CDs to get the entire catalog. But, you know, stuff like that is pretty much where I need to go as far as holes in my music listening. Question number 4, a cheap album that's really good. Squeeze, singles 45 and under. I know cheap is relative to your area, but in my area, I see this album all the time for $5 or less. And this album, front to back, delivers the goods. So there's not a bad song on here. It's Squeeze's greatest hits up to about 1982. And it's not every single thing you need from the band, because they released a lot of good stuff after. But this would be an excellent primer if you were looking to get into this band. This is the place where you should start. And it's cheap. So Squeeze, singles 45 and under. A classic, good, cheap album. Your favorite side project album. Now, I've been watching some of these vinyl tags, and some people have been mentioning Arcadia, which was the side project featuring members of Duran Duran. But I don't have anything by Arcadia, but I have the other Duran side project, which was the Power Station. And this is a 12-inch single of their song Get It On. Bang a Gong, Get It On. And Power Station was formed by a couple members of Duran Duran with Robert Palmer singing lead. So it's kind of hard to come up with a favorite side project. I mean, I was going to go with something like Rough Mix by Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane. I don't know if this counts as a side project. You know, this was kind of just a one-off album. Maybe. But the Power Station always takes me right back to like 1985 whenever I hear it. And that's a great song too. So that's what I'm going to go with for that answer. Okay. Question 6. A song from a band that is uncharacteristic in their catalog. I'm just going with the layup. Revolution 9 from the Beatles off of the White Album. It is uncharacteristic of anything they ever did ever. And, yeah. Moving right along. The last album you purchased, question number 7. This one just came in the other day. Look Now by Elvis Costello and the Imposters. Just got this right after the new year. This is actually my first purchase of 2019. And I know one of these questions further down the list is a good album with an ugly cover. And while I can't say how good the album is because I haven't listened to it, this is one ugly-ass cover, in my opinion. So, I don't know what Elvis was thinking with this one, but, yeah, no, not good. Okay. Ah, and that was the next question. A great album with a bad cover. I think Tim, was it Tim who showed a Hall & Oates album? The Silver album where they kind of cross-dressed. Well, Hall & Oates had more than one bad album cover in their repertoire. And I'm putting H2O out there. I always say this album is so hot that it's sweating. And I don't really understand why you would call an album H2O, which is, you know, the chemical composition of water, and then show just sweat dripping on skin. And having these guys be all sweaty and staring at each other. Is it wrong? No, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense with the album title. But this is a very good album. It contains, you know, I think Man-Eater was their biggest chart hit, and that's on here, along with a bunch of other songs. So that's my answer for that one. H2O by Hall & Oates. Bad album with a cool cover. That's the next question. Not necessarily a bad album, but this is really going to be glary. This is E Pluribus Funk by Grand Funk Railroad. Made to look like a coin, like a giant coin. It's just not going to show on the camera without reflecting. Difficult to store, difficult to keep in one piece because this thing just wants to split because it's only held together in a couple of different places. Not necessarily a bad album. It's not one of their best. It's probably not one I would necessarily reach for all the time, but for cool covers that are something unique, E Pluribus Funk gets my vote. Okay, we're doing good here. Question number 10, a blues album. I don't think I have any blues albums that I haven't already shown before, so I'm just going to show one of my favorites. Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers, Natural Boogie. This was their second album on the Alligator label. And if you like your electric blues, you know, with that dirty, greasy slide sound, this is what you need right here. Anything by Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers is classic. So that's what I went with for this question. Natural Boogie. There's the back cover right there, just so you could see. Great, great stuff. Okay, an earworm song. What I Say by Ray Charles. I played this after I got it, and I was humming What Did I Say, the riff, the words, for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks after. In fact, if I played it again, I would just start the cycle all over again. So this will probably show up in a future spin zone because I just played it. Don't think I've shown it yet, but my latest earworm song is What Did I Say by Ray Charles. Okay, a historically important artist. For me, I gotta go with Elvis. I mean, you can say what you want to say about Elvis later in his career, you know, in the jumpsuit era, but in the 50s, you know, when he put this album out, this is kind of like the Big Bang of rock and roll right here. So, love him or hate him, we probably wouldn't be here talking about rock and roll if it were not for Elvis. So, you know, he was able to just blend genres, had the voice. I mean, Elvis is just a one-of-a-kind voice. And this album here, his first album, is full of energy, full of, you know, rockabilly fire. And what can you say? Elvis is calling the king for a reason, so that's what I'm going with. The king. An album you own because of your parents. Question number 13. Okay. Ooh, the sun's starting to come out now. I've shown Al Green. I've shown Gladys Knight. I've shown Johnny Cash. But one album that I haven't shown because of that I own because of my parents is this one by Sylvia, and it's called Pillow Talk. And if you search out the title track, Pillow Talk, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, that will give you a taste of what this album's all about. Think Donna Summer, Love to Love You Baby, a couple of years before that song came out. Yeah, this is my this is the actual copy from my folks, and it's beat to hell. You know, it's on Vibration Records. It might look okay in the camera, but trust me, this album is beat up. And again, I keep it just because it was theirs, you know. But yeah, if you've ever heard the song Pillow Talk, you'll be like, what? So that's my answer for that question. Best dollar bin find, question number 14. I don't have any dollar bin finds because A, all of the Goodwills around me quite honestly suck. I've gone far and wide in my area and looking at all the Goodwills, trying to find that gem, you know, trying to be that guy in the VC who finds the great record for cheap. Not me. And the record stores around me are pretty non-existent too, without driving a whole lot of distance. But I do have an estate sale where I found, geez, I must have found about 30 records, and they were all $1 a piece. So that's what I'm going to use for the answer to this question. A portion of those albums that I found were all Stevie Ray Vaughan. All mint condition, original press copies, all for $1. So I got Texas Flood here, that was $1. Couldn't Stand the Weather, sorry for all the glare, that was $1. Soul to Soul, that was $1. And of course, his greatest hits. Even though it's redundant, and because I already own all the songs on it from different albums, who cares? It was $1. So I just saw it there, so I just grabbed it, gave it to me. So that was my best dollar bin find through an estate sale, I guess. Your favorite double album, question number 15. Talked this one over with my wife, and when I mentioned Quadrophenia, she goes, ooh, you have to use that one. And I said, you know what, you're right. I need to play this again. I need to play this front to back. This is from my original collection. It's an 80s repress, but, you know, this is probably the last front to back killer album The Who made. And boy, what a great album, right? Quadrophenia by The Who. An album you learned about from the VC in the last year. That list is long and distinguished. And the latest addition to that list, I showed this one recently on Facebook, is the self-titled album by Zephyr. Yeah, this was one of the Lost Vinyl Classics from Tales from the Crate. Last year I saw him show this album, and he gave this to Brad as part of the contest winnings from his contest, and Brad showed this album and raved about it. So I happened to luck into finding a copy on eBay. Just show you the gatefold here. And boy, what a great album. Blues rock, fantastic female vocals from, what's her name? Candy Givens. It's her right there. She can hit the high notes. She can wail. She plays harmonica on this too. Just a fantastic album. Tommy Bolin on guitars. Just great, great stuff. I played this last week, and then I had to go back and play it for my wife, and she loved it too. So, once again, Andrew, you're my guru, dude. And this was another great pick. So, self-titled Zephyr album? That's my answer for that question, which is number 16. Question number 17 is show a 10-inch record. I only have two 10-inch records, one of those being Black Market Clash, which I think Steve Carlson showed in his video. So, in order not to repeat, I'll show you the other one I've got. This is by Hank Williams. It's called Hank Williams Sings. And there's the songs right there. Once again, apologies for the glare. Here we go. I think this is also my oldest record. I think this one came out in the early 50s. I'm not quite sure, but it's in rough shape. You know, it's on the MGM label, but you know, it's probably still sort of playable. So, just for the novelty of it being, I'm pretty sure this is my oldest record in my collection too. So this is my answer for a 10-inch record. And the next question is show a 7-inch record. And I made a mistake when I showed my latest vault package from Third Man Records, which was the reissue of the Raconteurs album, because that came with the 45, and I didn't show the 45 in that video. Duh. So here it is. This is actually, both songs on here are actually brand new, off of a soon-to-be forthcoming new album by the Raconteurs. So on the A side, it's a double A side album. You've got Now That You're Gone and Sunday Driver, with the picture sleeve there. And let me show you the record itself, because their vinyl is always cool. It comes in this inner sleeve, and here's the vinyl. Whoops, let me turn it right side up. There you go. And it was funny, when Third Man was sending out these sets, they put a email out saying, you know, this is exclusive new material we're giving you guys, so, you know, we don't want to see this pop up on the internet. Like, okay. So, I think probably sometime in 2019 we can expect a new album from the Raconteurs. And then this got included with the reissue set that they just put out, so that's my 7-inch record. Favorite album to fall asleep to? Question 19. I don't really fall asleep to music. I kind of like it pretty quiet when I fall asleep, but something that's always relaxing for me would be just Dark Side of the Moon. You know? Who's not going to get mellow listening to Us and Them? Really, you know? So, yeah, this is kind of a question that doesn't really apply to me because I don't fall asleep listening to music, but something to chill to, something to relax to, I could probably doze to this too, would be Dark Side of the Moon. And last but not least, the question is your 20, your favorite VC experience and or advice for people contemplating making videos. Favorite VC experience, especially this year, has been the meetups I've done. I've met like 2 or 3 people in person off the VC this past year, and that's been amazing. The generosity from just about everyone on the VC here has been astounding. I probably would say my 2 favorites would be, you know, Dylan sending me my Grail, my current #1 Grail record. He just gave it to me, which is unbelievable. And also earlier in the year, he doesn't make videos that much anymore, but he's starting to pop up again, is Russ from Amorphous Audio. The guy rebuilt the tube set in my Telefunken. You know, it's right over here. You guys know what it looks like by now. And, you know, I moved it to a more prominent position in this room here. And, you know, just the other day, I had to change the outlet because the outlet was old. So I changed the outlet, and then I plugged it into a surge protector strip just to keep everything super safe electrically. And I just turned the radio on, and I just listened to the radio through you know, through the tube set, and it was awesome. Actually, what I want to do is I want to get a 78 record this year. That's probably one of my goals, just to be able to play it on the record player that's in the Telefunken, just to see what it sounds like. But yeah, that was just amazing generosity, super nice people. You know, all the people that I interact with, that comment on my videos, I try to return the favor as best I can. I'm getting better at that. Every day this week so far, I've been watching as many videos as I can take and commenting on them. So that's really been my favorite. You know, discovering new music, interacting with really cool people, basically drama-free. That's all. I'm all about that. So, and advice for people contemplating making videos, I would say, besides just do it, you know, don't be afraid what you look like on camera. I mean, look at this face. I got raccoon eyes every day. I got this big giant nose. I got these lines in my forehead. My hair is usually all over the place. That's me. So, just set the camera up, sit yourself down in front of it, and just start talking. Just pretend there's nobody, well, hopefully there's nobody there when you're making videos, so you can concentrate. Just imagine you're talking to just one person. That's kind of what I do. And probably my other piece of advice is if you seriously want to be, you know, a part of the VC, like a regular, put out content on a regular basis. Like if you just do like a video or two and then disappear, you're never going to get anywhere. So I would say watch as many videos as you can, comment on as many videos as you can, because chances are people will find your channel and start watching your stuff and start commenting on your stuff. So if you put out videos regularly, like for example Steve Carlson, who I mentioned, you know, every Sunday morning he puts out a video, which is cool. It's great. It's something that you know you can expect. But I mean, it doesn't have to be that scheduled and regimented, but if you put things out on a regular basis, people will know to follow you and that you're going to be there, you know, for a good long haul, hopefully. So I've been doing this for almost 1.5 years now, and it's been great. Don't worry about sub counts. Don't worry about likes or dislikes. All that stuff comes and goes, up and down. So I just, if you can get a group of people, kind of like this is what I've done. You know, there's a good, I don't know, dozen people or so that I really care about if they watch or not. Great. And everybody else is just a bonus. There's always room for more. So that would be my advice. Content on a regular basis. Which is hard to do sometimes. So that would be my advice. Okay, I'm closing in on 29 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. No cutouts, no mistake. Well, a few mistakes, but like I said, it's all one take. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed my vinyl tag. I've been enjoying everyone else's, so I will see you again soon in the VC. Peace, and take care.